所晒干esta casa.
It's not your fault. It's my fault or my computer's fault. The decor in her room appeared blurry through her damp eyes. Memories of the day she had it redecorated played back in her mind with crystal clarity. She told me she had no feelings for you.
No, you forced her to say that.
That liar! That liar! She let her emotions run wild, breaking glass craftwork, silver plates designed by famous foreign artisans, flower vases, all sorts of things. It was as though a beast had been set loose in her bedchamber. The vase she tossed shattered against a painting hanging on the wall, spraying water, porcelain, and roses in every direction. It was the portrait she adored so dearly, of her and her brother. And in what appeared to her like a metaphor for her life, the frame fell off its mounting and came crashing to the floor. Nellie darted over and scooped it up. The frame had broken, but the painting inside was unharmed. The two smiling children were still the very image of happiness, inseparable siblings gently holding one another's hands. My princess no more. Though in her present state of mind, that image of happiness brought her nothing but misery. And the worse she felt, the more frustrated she grew at the smiling girl and kind boy of her past. The princess is no more either. You're not a princess anymore, Nellie. Some other woman has taken your place. I trusted you, Mel. I believed you would always be there for me. This painting, it's nothing but a lie. That's not the real Mel. That's not the real me. It's all a big fat lie. A lie. I wish this painting never existed. That it was never made. That I never had a brother.
Oh no.
This painting. This painting. In a fit of emotional distress, she scratched feverishly at the painting she once considered precious. She put more force into her fingers than she, or perhaps anyone, might have imagined she could. Flakes of paint began falling off the canvas, and in time she noticed something peculiar. Huh? Is this writing? Something's hidden beneath the paint. Just a little more. A date? Why would that be hidden? What could it be for? Completed. Completed May 1587. 1587? She read aloud the faded, scratched-up handwriting. After staring blankly at the text for some time, the color in her face began to drain. What is this? How? How could this have been painted 16 years ago?
Time loops.
I wasn't even born yet then, and Nell would have been just a baby. Is this not me? Is this not Mel? There's still more writing. Urged on by her rapidly pounding heart, Nellie furiously scratched away the painting. even as her clean pink fingernails were soiled with fragments of paint and blood. She did not stop. She was so overwhelmed by trepidation that she could not stop. She had a horrible premonition that something was about to happen. Something indescribable, incomprehensible. This is how I envision your son and our unborn daughter might look several years from now. Your son and our unborn daughter. So, this was a painting of the future. Then it really is of me and Nell. No, use your head, stupid. I'm only 14. 16 years ago, I would not have been inside, Mother. But then who is this? Who is that holding Mel's hand? Who is that with my brother? More, there has to be.
Who is that masked man?
How? Found it. There's more writing. I have to know. I have to know what this is. Calm down. Calm down, Nellie. It's nothing to get worked up over. I'm sure it's nothing. Calm down and read. There's nothing to worry about. If our unborn child... This is what the writing on the painting said. If our unborn child does not have your hair color, then you will probably not be able to take her in as your own. I will be punished and my life made miserable. Kanetsu got it. As I mentioned before, I do know what happens in the first act. I've forgotten a lot of details, but I do know. And so I pray that this child might have flaxen hair. Though is it a sin to wish that she has in her a trace of me? I do hope it is a girl.
Oh no.
What am I reading? I don't get it. Someone tell me. What does this mean? A painting from 16 years ago. Hair color. Sin. I do hope it is a girl.
So then who is she?
Yes? It's Nellie. Let me in. Lady Nellie? Oh, you've changed out of your dress. That's a shame. It looked nice on you. It really did look so nice.
Oh no, that sounds like murder words.
Almost like you were a princess. Lady Nellie? Say, I have a question for you. Do you mind? By all means. What color did your father have? What color hair did your father have? I beg your pardon. Did you not hear me? Should I repeat the question? No. I assumed it would be about Lord Mel. I'm just so curious about where you got that white color from. My father was more tan than white, so I didn't inherit my paleness from anyone. I asked about your father's hair color. Why would you want to? There's no reason you can't tell me, is there? My father, had white hair, but that was simply because he was an older man. I do not think he was born with. L- Lady Nellie? Hey, guess what I've figured out? I've figured it all out. And it was so simple. There's only one difference between you and me. The only thing that Mel fell for is... Why do you have those? No, stay back!
No! What is it? Wow, what a laugh.
Ah, we have finally reached this point in the tale, Master.
Oh, I think I know what she had. I think I know what happened. Can I guess?
What do you want to guess?
Did she cut her hair off?
We'll see. If your memory has been refreshed, then we can return to the mansion immediately. Very well, then. If you insist, Master, we shall proceed with the story. It was a stormy night, much like the one the white-haired girl had first arrived on. It was quiet as a crypt in the mansion, not a single light visible in the halls. The house sat in wait for the sun to peek out over the horizon. The darkness is, generally speaking, something that rushes by like a gust of wind as we sleep. The flaxen-haired young man, too, lay in bed, pale blue moonlight sporadically streaming through the gaps in the drawn velvet curtains as he attempted to submit to slumber. He was having difficulty drifting off, but as time trickled onward, he drew closer and closer to the arms of Morpheus.
Mm.
Suddenly he sensed a presence in the room, much like the one from those nights some weeks earlier.
Weeks? Is someone there? Answer me.
A slender feminine finger pressed gently against his lips.
Oh no, Nellie, no.
There was no hostility in the motion, but rather a great deal of affection.
You're.
The silhouette faintly visible in the dark room was the same as that night. A flash of lightning shone through the drawn curtains, illuminating her beautiful white hair. Several silky locks spilled over her shoulders and brushed against Mel's cheeks.
Oh.
A couple soft puffs of air tickled his face, as though she were silently laughing. He assumed her finger, held against his lips, was her way of telling him to stay quiet. She began to slowly, delicately trace the outline of his mouth, moving down his cheek and along his jawline as if over porcelain.
You're, rather more forward than I remember. Well, I suppose you always were quite daring. This isn't the first time you sneaked into my bedchamber.
The boy said in an attempt to conceal his surprise. Do you remember the night she came to exact revenge on him for her father? Indeed, she had proven herself to be a rather bold girl once already.
It's dark. I can't see you very well. Why don't I light a lamp, or perhaps we could open the...
Before he could finish, the white-haired girl sealed his lips with her own. In the near-total darkness of his bedchamber, the two shadows appeared as one.
Probably, Justin. That's what I'm thinking.
They remained that way for several minutes. Their kiss was innocent, no more than the pressing together of two pairs of lips. And at the same time, the white-haired girl lovingly ran her fingertips across his skin. When their lips separated, Mel gasped for air. It seemed he had been holding his breath. Slightly embarrassed at himself, he said,
Oh God!
Dearest Mel,
Oh, Nelly, no. Oh,
nothing. He could not speak.
oh God.
The silhouette hanging above him was certainly the white-haired girl's. Or was it? Because his next words were,
Get off me!
he reflexively shoved the girl straddling him aside. She rode off the bed, landing on the cold floor, but slowly, gradually, she crawled her way back to him.
that wasn't very nice.
Veiled in darkness, she slowly lifted her head. And then there was another flash of lightning. The heavy fabric of the curtains rustled, bolts of light streaming between the gaps.
It's so pretty, but she's so creepy.
Her flaxing irises glimmered. Though in the bluish white light, they looked on the twinge of almost golden glow.
No need to be so rough. This isn't the first time she's visited your bedchamber.
Did he like rip off her whole scalp or something?
Is it, Mel?
Or did I not kiss you the same way? Tell me, how does she run her fingers across your skin? What does she do when she nuzzles up to you?
Stop. Stop this madness, Nelly. Why would you? Why would you do this?
Because you like white hair, don't you, Mel? You like white hair, which is why you fell for her, isn't it? So if I have white hair, then you'll fall for me too. Then I can be your princess again, dearest Mel.
What? What are you even talking about?
He could not escape from her, from his sister's piercing gaze.
Glaze. Donuts.
Get out of here, Hina. Why? What happened? How could she? Questions crashed into the young man's mind like waves in a stormy sea. But none of them found answers. They simply caused him further perplexity.
Your hair. What happened to your hair? How did you get it that color?
Oh, this? You like my wig?
But as soon as the words left her mouth, Mel was in motion, propelled by pure instinct. He clenched Nellie's shoulders tight enough to dig his fingers into her flesh.
You're hurting me, Mel.
What did you do to her? Tell me, what did you do?
I made her leave. It was a perfectly reasonable decision. She was obviously not nobility,
and thus hardly fit to be a part of this household. But there's no need to worry, Mel. I'm here to take her place.
You sound like a mad woman. It doesn't matter if she was noble blood or not. She promised she would stay by my side. So why? How could you do that to her?
I promised you that long before she ever did. And I love you far more than she ever did, Mel.
Have you lost your mind? You're not making any sense. Where is she now? What is she doing?
It's always her with you. What more could you want from me? Tell me, what does she have that I don't? What do I have to do to get you to focus on me, and only me?
We're siblings! Don't you understand what you're doing?
Oh, I understand it quite well. Far better than you do, dear Smell. I even know that a former queen was executed for it. But if we don't get caught, there's no problem.
Nelly, Are you saying you've always felt this way about me?
Oh my! Didn't you notice, dear Smell? You truly are a dense one.
Thank you!
I guess romance just isn't your strong suit. But you've noticed now, haven't you? You know exactly how I feel about you, right?
Quit it. Enough! Don't say anything else! Stop. Stop having these insane feelings for me. It's disgusting. What are you laughing about?
Poor, poor Mel, content in your complete ignorance. All right, I'll tell you everything. Mel, you
Oh, come on. Oh.
can only love blood-related women.
What? Huh?
His cackling sister appeared to him like some kind of inhuman life form. Her actions and incomprehensible exclamations slowly drained him of his strength.
What kind of deranged nonsense is that? I love her. She's...
Your sister, Mel.
Very funny. How far out of your mind have you gone, Nelly?
Poor, poor Mel. Do you honestly know nothing? Say that her father was a painter. He painted pictures for a living.
What of it?
For a time, her father painted for our family. You've seen the pictures before, dearest Mel. The one hanging in my room of the two of us. That was painted by her father. He did a good job, didn't he?
Love it!
I kept asking and asking until you finally agreed to hold my hand. And how did you feel about that? You were rather embarrassed, weren't you? Do you remember that day, dearest Mel? You couldn't possibly remember it. But there's a chance you might remember this. Before we moved to the mansion, we had a painter with white hair.
I don't remember any such thing.
He was, long ago. a painter in the service of the Rhodes family. But that painter did something very, very bad, and because of that, he couldn't remain a part of our household. Do you know what he did, Mel? He lay with Mother. My father was chased from your house. If the child had been born with flaxen hair, then the painter would not have been thrown out. The baby would have been accepted as part of the family. But that wasn't how it turned out. The child had white hair. She didn't look at all like she carried the Rhodes family blood. But you see, Mother had me. That here's all the proof you need. The girl born 16 years ago didn't have flaxen hair. Up until his last breath, he was only ever concerned about me. He held me in his arms and ran his hands through my hair, an apologetic look on his face.
You're talking total nonsense. What proof do you have? Oh, you shouldn't have asked that.
If you want to see it, I'll gladly show you. The artist left a message in the painting in my room. Tell me, am I truly wrong? What did that girl tell you?
You're lying.
What part of it is a lie, Mel? Everything I'm telling you is the truth. Why don't you go ask Mother? I'm sure she would throw quite the fit.
Mother wouldn't.
The mistress did not send me away when she saw me. Quite the opposite. She took me in as a servant. It never made sense to me. Why would she hire a maid she knew nothing about, someone who just showed up at the door one day? And when I asked Mother to make her my maid, she stubbornly refused. From a good house? Don't make me laugh. If she were really nobility, she would have given us her name. But Mother was so desperate to cover up her mistake.
That doesn't make any sense. I don't believe a word you're saying. It couldn't possibly be true.
Would it be nice if you could bury your head in the sand? But Mel, feigning ignorance is a sin.
No. I refuse to believe it. Not a chance in hell.
You just don't understand anything. How I feel, how I must have suffered. But do you have any idea how long I've loved you? Knowing that you would never accept my affection. But then, fancy that. You fell in love with your half-sister. Then I should qualify for your love too. Shouldn't I, Mel?
Stop it, enough! Shut your mouth! Not another word! Wait, so... I thought Nellie wasn't his sister, so she is his sister.
Yes, she's full-blooded sister.
Okay.
So, Nellie and Mel are full-blooded siblings, and then their mother slept with the painter of the house and had the white-haired girl.
So then that's their half-sister.
Yep.
And then she said that he can only fall in love with blood-related relatives, right?
Yep. Now, whether she means that literally or more just as something she has assumed because he fell in love with her and she feels she's the only other woman he has affection for, or that I have no idea.
I I don't believe any of this.
Mel! I know you'll never love me. I know there's nowhere for me to run. Say, when we were kids, was that really me? Was I really by your side, Mel? If that painting tells the whole truth, I was never once did I get to be a princess. Not even once.
Is it because she was born after her?
Yeah, Nellie's younger. Like, Mel, I think, is 17, the white-haired girl is 16, and Nellie is 14. Dearest Mel, everyone just loves to dote on me. They're always telling me how pretty I am. I think this is still Nellie.
I think so.
Mother does, father does, and all the maids do too. I can do anything I want. So for me, acting like a spoiled child is the only form of rebellion I have. I don't have the kind of freedom you do, Mel. I'm just a doll for the family to play with. When I have visitors, it's only ever for show. So it's not my fault that I don't have friends. Dearest Mel, you're the only one who's ever cared about me more than anything in the world. Dearest Mel, I always knew how I would react if you fell in love. I would cry my eyes out. I would envy her to death. I would get angry as a bull. But eventually, I would have given that up.
Oh, I wish I could listen.
I knew I could never have it my way after all. My feelings would never bear fruit. So why? Did she have to be your sister? Tell me, why?
Oh, dearest Mel, here you are again, reading such hard books. Your eyes will go bad if you spend too long staring at the pages.
I'll be fine, Nellie. It's not like I'm reading 24 hours a day.
No, that's not good enough. If your eyes go bad, dearest Mel, you won't be able to see me anymore.
You worry too much. I can see you finding well, my princess. Your hair glimmering like the sun and your beautiful smile. I can see you clear as day, and that'll never change. Plus, the skies are clear today, so you're even more radiant than usual.
You know, this is my favorite season. Winter's cold and there's so much rain. I can't stand it. But as it gets closer to my birthday, the clouds go away. And I just adore the sun.
Ah, yes, it's almost your birthday, isn't it? Have you decided what you're going to ask Father for?
Not yet. I want pretty dolls and shoes with sparkling gems. And I also want a pretty dress like the one Mother wears.
A list that's long is asking a bit much, even for Father.
But dearest Mel, I already have what I want the most. So the truth is, as long as I have that, I don't need anything else.
Oh, and what would that be? The hairpin they bought for you the other day? Or maybe the song they had written for you last year?
None of that, dearest Mel.
Then what could it be? Now I'm really curious.
If you do an x-ray of Mel's head, it's just a solid skull.
Or like a little raisin. Like a literal raisin. What is it that's so valuable to you?
That's a secret.
Is the background changing, or is that just like me?
No, the background's changing, yeah.
Okay. Girls have so many secrets, I just don't know what to do.
Say, dearest Mel, would you run your fingers through my hair? Just a little bit.
Whoa, whoa,
What the
whoa, whoa, whoa! Whoa!
What did we just see?
I have no idea.
What's gone into you, Nelly? Why are you so hungry for attention all of a sudden?
Please, dearest Mel.
I
I saw
don't like.
lips.
Mm.
Oh, Nelly, what am I going to do with you? Come over here.
Hi, Moon.
Moon.
You missed stuff.
So much. Yeah.
And I'm going to sit on your lap.
Yes, yes, as you wish, my beautiful, beautiful little princess.
Say, dearest Mel,
What is it this time, Nelly?
right now, I'm so incredibly
Oh, I saw lips again.
happy. Oh, and out of
I don't know who. Oh, and out of curiosity, who was it that you really cared so much about? In a fevered frenzy, Mel fled from the mansion. Even in the early summer, the night was cold. And to make matters worse, raindrops pelted him from head to toe. But that caused him little discomfort, for a far greater maelstrom of pain rampaged within his breast. At night, the town took on a different appearance. Not simply for lack of illumination, but the people active within it as well. It was not a suitable place for a young aristocratic man to go wandering unattended. The darkness is not only the abode of devils, but of beggar, thieves, criminals, and all manner of things undesirable. But despite that, he continued to run, knowing not where he was to head. He simply went where his feet took him, and where he arrived was the church.
Father! Father! God should be able to offer me counsel. To answer all my questions. About that painting, about her, and about Nellie's feelings. Not her lies, but the truth. Please, open the door! Open the door!
But as you might expect, the door was locked, and the priest showed no sign of responding to his calls. The sound of the pouring rain drowned out everything else. It is, isn't it? His head dropped feebly.
Thanks, Moon.
He looked like a helpless little calf who had wandered alone onto a dark, precarious mountain path with no end in sight.
Why? Why won't anyone tell me the truth? All I want is for someone to tell me it's not true. Have I sinned? No, I didn't know anything. I didn't know. No, none of it is true. So I haven't done anything wrong. I'm not at fault. Am I?
Nevertheless, his sister's claims and her laughs continued to echo within his head. If he truly believed it to be false, he would have gone to look at the painting. That he could not was an indication that uncertainty had a stronger grip on him. Fragmented images of a white-haired painter fluttered through the back of his mind, but he desperately shoved them aside.
What good is the church? What good is theology? What good is God? What?
Something moved near the boy. It stood immediately behind him and grasped his light dressing gown. He had been so consumed in his own world that he had not noticed the person's presence until they were close enough to touch him.
Who are you?
Standing there was a beggar dressed in tattered rags.
He's still begging at the church?
The hooded beggar tentatively extended his hand towards Mel, pleading for relief with sad, slender fingers. Were he a generous young man, Mel would have given the beggar something. Were he generous, of course. I mean, he's giving them money before.
Yeah, like twice.
Lord,
Get your filthy hands off me! I don't have a damn thing to give you right now. Don't you dare touch me!
Suddenly,
Shank. Suddenly,
the beggar's head turned upward.
my eyes catch the beggar's.
Her hood fell back,
No!
revealing a hairless head, and the pair of red eyes gazing bitterly, though with a familiar distinctive glimmer, at Mel.
Red eyes.
She immediately covered her face and turned to run.
It can't be. The beggar that's always been here was a...
But you said yourself that they would not survive much longer. How could you be certain she was that same beggar?
Ah! Wait! Wait for me!
Perhaps, as someone of such high social standing, all beggars appeared the same to you? Or perhaps you wanted to believe your meager generosity made a difference, that you did something of value. I will not say it is wrong to think so.
Wait for me! I chase after the fleeing girl.
Wonder what it
weird.
means. Yeah, I wonder what it means now that Mel is starting to take over the narration a little.
Yeah. You missed a lot, Shade. A scalping!
That's not something that can be concisely surmised.
Though I shout for her to stop, she continues to run. The rain is so heavy, I'm afraid I might lose her. I'm terrified. But I didn't do anything wrong, did I? I'm begging you, please stop! I just want to talk! She comes to a stop at a corner.
Your chamber's empty, partner. Better reload.
Except he already clearly said that he didn't get a look at his face.
now they're ganging up on me.
Bunch of dick jerks.
They're so mean. Perhaps you should think a little more about where Officer Marshall was. Officer Meakin should have seen him in the evidence room. That means the only place he could have been would be...
He was Meekins.
Shit!
Oh shit, the ultimate plot twist.